The whole day I've been thinking about your favorite quote from a song. And I want you to think about it for a second because I'm going to tell you mine a little bit later. But for the past 2 weeks, I've been concerned about another question. What do people focus on when they are watching music videos? I decided to find it out, so I chose a part of Lady Gaga's Applause music video, and then I asked my friends 8 questions about it. First four about what did they see, and another 4 about what did they hear. Here are the results. As you can see, about 80% of the contestants were right about the questions about what did they see. And I think I could easily predict that, because I can see on my own, when I'm watching music video, I'm focusing on what I see and on the rhythm, and that's why I can hum the song the next day. Now we've got the results about what did they hear, and the difference was only 1 point, but in completely another way. Only 17% of the contestants were right about the questions. But the main thing that I want to show you is difference between texts now and then. And I'm going to start with the song of the Scorpions, Wind of Change. It was released 23 years ago. And why there is a wind of change? Because it says everything about the changes that were going to happen in the Soviet Russia, as you can see in the 2 first lines. I followed the Moscow down to Gorky Park, and even in the whole Europe and then in the whole world, because the song was released 1 year after the collapse of Soviet Union. This song was put on YouTube in the year 2009, and in these 4 years, it has gained more than 60 million views on YouTube. But I want to compare it with the song that was released only 2 months ago, and it's Elvis, What Does the Fox Say? In these 2 months, it has gained more than 200 million views. So as you can see, difference is immense, but the text is really different, as you can see too. We've got dog goes woof and cat goes meow. And it clearly shows the preferences of the people nowadays. And what's more, this song hit number 17th of the UK's most popular songs chart. But when we are talking about differences, I want to show you some different, maybe you could say, odd songs. The first one is Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication. And I really like this song, but when I saw the transcription for the first time, I was really baffled, because we've got there physics spies from China and little girls from Sweden, and I can still handle that. But then we've got firstborn unicorns and hardcore soft porn. And it made me really confused. But I really like this song. I think it's really rhythmical. The other one is The Beatles' Twist and Shout. It was released about 50 years ago. And now we can complain that Justin Bieber sings those songs about love. But when we've got the Beatles, they were singing about love too. But they started something called Beatlemania, and it was completely unbelievable. There were girls just shouting and crying and even fainting in front of the scene just to see their favorite idols on their own eyes. The another song is Pumped Up Kicks Foster the People. And I think most of you know this song, and I really like it because it made me really chilled out. But the topic of this song is quite unusual, because it tells everything about children's mental illnesses. Why? Because cousin of one of the band's members survived Columbine High School massacre, which happened in the year 1999 in the American city of Columbine. And at this time, 15 kids were killed by their 2 friends from school. And it absolutely struck the whole people in the United States and even on the whole world because of the mass media. But when I'm talking about the differences, I want to focus on it. And then I'm going to show you 4 reasons why the songs are really different from the songs that were about 20 or even 30 years ago. The first of it is there are more varied recipients of text. For example, when we've got 12-year-old girl, we can say that she's a fan of Justin Bieber. because she was born when Justin Bieber was one of the most popular and, by the way, one of the richest teenage singers in the world. And when we've got, on the other hand, for example, 60 or 50 years old man, we can say that he's a fan of the Beatles, because the Beatles were the most popular band in his times. The second thing is that we've got more fake sounds. Like, for example, when we've got a proper program, we can even make our own album, and with a little bit much more effort, we can create even the whole new, brand new genre of music. The third thing is that there are new music genres. I don't think that dubstep was really popular about 2 years ago. And on the other hand, we've got rock music, metal, and of course, classical, which has become really unpopular and for some people really dull. I don't know why, because it's really nice, in my opinion, it's really nice music. The last thing is the influence of songwriters. Most of the artists nowadays have got their songs written by the professional songwriters. And the main aim of these songs is to gain as much money as it's possible. So the artists aren't able to put their factor of themselves in their songs. And this affects the second thing, because then I think about 20 or 30 years ago, most of the artists were writing the songs on their own, and they were able to put everything in their songs. Every ideas was spreading, every of their thoughts. And now the main thing is to gain as much money as it's possible, and it's the only thing that the artists are thinking about. But we have to understand one thing in this, because we have to see that songs are artists' unchained thoughts, like a bird that escaped artist's mind, cage of mind. And the main thing to understand is that song reveals artist's colorful mind. And I know that I promised you to say my favorite quote, and it's, you better start swimming or sing like a stone, because the times, they are a-changing.